Now, what's the difference of this currency setting we have in the ECC 6.0 vis-a-vis the SAP S/4HANA? So in the ECC 6.0, we were only limited to the three currencies. We can maintain only three currencies, and these three currencies are company code, group currency, and hard currency or index-based currency. And where we can see them or maintain them, for that, in the ECC, we have one more transaction code and it is OB22. So that I have also listed here. So here you can just see the transaction code. It is OB22. Let's use this transaction code. But here, because we are on the SAP HANA database, so on this screen, it will only allow us to display the setting. We can't change it or we can't add it anything. And you can also observe here, it is redirecting us to the transaction code FinSC underscore ledger where we can do the currency setting. So press enter button. So you can just see we have a list of company code. And if I just press any company code, let's say the company code we have it is 1188. So you can just see for the 1188, we have our first currency type. It is 10 and this is what company code currency. And it is coming with euro. Then we have our second currency type. It is 30. So second local currency, it is showing as 30. This is the group currency. It is USD. Then the third currency, we can just see it as a blank. So you can also take it as a hard currency. Here we can go and take the hard currency 40. Currency type is going to be 40. Name of the currency is hard currency and it will show you that name of the currency, whatever the hard currency we are taking, whether it is GBP or anything else. So that is the view of the ECC 6.0. But in the SAP S/4HANA, so because we need to maintain all these currency setting in the FinSC underscore ledger, so it will take us to that particular screen. And on that screen, if I just show you FinSC underscore ledger. So on this SAP S/4HANA, apart from three currencies, so we have been given now 8 more currency which we call them the additional currency option as freely defined currency where we can see them. Let's select this 0L, go to the company code and see the same company code. We can just see the example. It is 1188. You can just see 10 is coming. This is for the company code currency. This 10 is the code type for the company code currency. 30 is the code or currency type for the group currency. And next to this, you can just see we have freely defined currency, freely defined currency, freely defined currency 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. So maximum we can maintain in the SAP S/4HANA, we can maintain up to 8 currencies. Apart from these 3 basic currency we maintain, okay? So one is, if you just go on the right side, it will show you those standard currencies also, which we have in the ECC as well. So first currency, company code. Second currency, your group currency. Third, it is blank in this case, in this company code. But here you can just see this company code 1129. Here we have 3 currencies. So now if I just double click on this 1129, so you can just see here, it will show you for this company code, what is the ledger we are following. Then what is the fiscal year variant we have, what is the posting period variant we have. You go down and you can just see the name of the currency. So it is the second currency, okay? Because the first currency, it is by default the company code currency. See here 10. Then we have the second currency as group currency, third as hard currency, which is, you can also see the name. So we have the GBP as a hard currency, USD as a group currency, and company code currency is also same as the group currency. Now if you go down, we have other currencies also like the additional freely defined currency. So this we can maintain the data in these currencies, okay? And for, like, if we will be having the data in these currency, then from where system is getting the data for the currency translation. So for the currency translation into these currencies like GBP, then we have the Russian ruble. So the system is taking the data from the source, and the source is going to be, you can just see on the right side, company code currency. Company code currency. Okay, so this setting we will also doing for our company code. So now here we have understood the currency setting. Okay, so you can just see this is the SCC4. We have the transaction code where we can just see the client currency that will become your group currency. So here if I just show you SCC4, let me open one more screen and run transaction code SCC4. So we are working on the client ID which is 800 on this server, and you can double click on this. Whatever the currency system is showing you here, that is your client currency and that will become your group currency. And this group currency, we can also change it. In order to change it, you can just see this is the option. Click on the change button. You can double click on this. So if you don't want this USD to be a group currency or to be a client currency, you can change it to GBP or Euro or any other currency. Okay. Then after that you need to save it. So whosoever has changed the client currency, so that user ID and date system is going to publish here. Okay, so we can just see here that okay, whosoever has changed this currency, so his user ID is and user 12, and on which date this has been changed. This has been changed on this date, 23rd of March. Okay, if we change it today, then our user ID will be shown with the current date. Now I want to keep this USD as a group currency or client currency. So I'll just come out of here. So that is going to be a group currency. This is the place where you can define your group currency. Now the second type of currency we have, it is the hard currency, where we maintain this hard currency. So for this hard currency and index-based currency, we can use a transaction code OY01. So let's have here the transaction code OY01. You can just see here we have been given a list of countries. As I just shared with you, this index-based currency and hard currency, it is country specific. So maybe for the US, the hard currency and index-based currency which we are taking, so that may not be the same hard currency and index-based currency for some other country. So that is the reason these are maintained at a country level. So for example, we have here the option for the country as US. Double click on this. So for this, you can just see this is the index-based currency. Okay. This is the euro, but it doesn't mean that you can't change it. You can change it also as per your requirement. As per the requirement, we can change it. Then same is for the hard currency. So currently it is coming as euro, but if you want to make it as GBP or you want to make it something else, you can also do it. So here I'm going to maintain the hard currency as GBP. Then the index based currency is the euro, and let's save it. Click on the save option and done. Now we can go back. We need to go to the SPRO, IMG, and we can go to the financial accounting. Then we can go to the global setting, ledgers, and then ledger. In this, we have this option called setting the ledger and currency type. We can click on this, enter. So we can now go to the first option, currency type. If you want to have a currency which we have not set up in the system. So here we have discussed about the freely defined currency. So for any of the ledger, we can go to the company code. So we have here 8 currencies, freely defined 8 currencies. And in these freely defined 8 currency, we can give the name of the currency. We can give like currency as INR or it is Euro GBP. So that is not under the group currency or company code currency, so that we can maintain as a freely defined currency. So our group currency and our company code currency is USD. Now this freely defined currency we are going to set up as a INR. And for this we can first go to the currency type. And in this currency type, we need to just scroll down. You can just see here, we have the currency option. So this currency type, we can maintain up to the 2 character. And let's click on the new entry button. And we can give the currency type and valuation type as, let's say it is ZJ, and this we are going to use it for the INR currency. We'll be using for the company code 2266. INR currency will have for 2266. Then after this, go to the practice sheet. So in the practice sheet, I have just mentioned about the extension ledger, and below we will find the information about the non-leading ledger or the standard ledger. So configuration for the standard ledger, and in this we have gone to the currency type. We have given the ID, description, short, long, and then we can select the view. So let's have here the select the view as standard legal view, and then after this we need to select this checkbox company code specific conversion. So select this checkbox and then enter. It is saying that with this ZJ we already have a currency type. Let it be the currency type as ZK or GK, and we can go on the left side, save it, click on the save option. Click on the save option. Now, under this currency type which we have maintained as a ZK, so we need to give the name of the currency. And in order to give the name of the currency, first we need to add in the company code. So we can go to this option called currency conversion setting for the company code. So double click on the option currency conversion setting for the company code. We can double click on this on the left side, enter, and then we can click on the position button. Search for our company code ID, it is 2266. So in this we can just see we have the 2266 where we have maintained the company code currency, group currency, and now we need to maintain the freely defined currency. In order to maintain this freely defined currency, we need to select this reference option and click on this copy as button. Click on the copy as button. So our company code is same. Now here I'm going to give the currency name as or currency type as ZK, which we have maintained today. Then after that, that reference company code or source company code is going to be 00, which is the document currency. And document currency and this ZK currency, which we are maintaining as INR. So between this, if there would be like the exchange rate, so that exchange rate type is going to be M. And then we can also give the translation date as translation date type as translation date, and then enter. Press enter button. So here we can just see system has taken the description as INR currency, and now we can just save it. Click on the save option. So before you save, you can just see system is just showing you the currency by default as a USD. You need to change it to your required currency. So let it be the currency, in our case it is INR, and then save. Press enter button, save. Now press enter button. Then we can go to the ledger. So we can double click on the ledger, create the standard ledger, and this standard ledger is going to be the non-leading ledger. So in this non-leading ledger, what we can have? So we can have a different accounting principle, different currency we can add, and also we can have a different fiscal year variant. And we can now define the non-leading ledger. So for to define this non-leading ledger, we need to give the ID, and this ID could be alphanumeric. So we can click on the new entry button, and we can give the ledger ID same as the currency type ID. It is ZK, and this is what this is a non-leading ledger we have for the 2266, and it is for the country India. Then we can go for the ledger type because it is not a extension ledger, it is a non-leading ledger, so we can give the ledger type as standard ledger. Then further we have the extension ledger type, so it is going to be the standard one only. And because it is not dependent on any of the ledger, so that is the reason underlying ledger is going to be blank. This field can just keep it as blank. Then here also we need to select the view. So let's have here the view as legal view. Legal view, this first one. If in this non-leading ledger, if you don't want the manual posting to be done, in that case, you can select this checkbox. But if you want the manual posting to be done, so in that case, you can deselect the checkbox. So in this non-leading ledger, we are going to post the manual entries. And for this reason, we are going to deselect the checkbox. And for this non-leading ledger, if you want to follow any different accounting principle, so you can, which is different from your leading ledger, so you can mention, you can assign that accounting principle. So we can just press F4 key and we can select any of the accounting principle. Let it be the accounting principle as standard, it is IFRS. We can just scroll down and we can select here the accounting principle ID as IFRS and then press enter button. Now we can just save it, click on the save option and then enter. So here you can just see it is giving you the message that the ledger you have created by default. The system has created a ledger group automatically. With this ledger, non-leading ledger ID, we have ZK. So the leading ledger, so this ledger group which has been created by a system, it is ZK only. So whenever you are creating any non-leading ledger or any extension ledger, so automatically system is going to give you a ledger group. So that ledger group you don't need to create manually. It will be created automatically. So we can press enter button. And now you can just see this extension ledger fields. So automatically these got grayed out. So now we can select this non-leading ledger. We can go to the company code setting. Double click on the company code setting for the ledger and click on the new entry button. So for this non-leading ledger, once again, we can assign our company code ID, which is 2266. And then for this non-leading ledger, if you want to continue to use the same fiscal year variant, which is calendar year, or you want to have the different one. So here, let's say we are going to take the different one, which is V3. And V3 means April to March. So let's select the standard one, V3. And here, if you want to use the same posting period variant, yes, we can use the same posting period variant, which is 2266. 2266. Now press enter button. So here this message will come. You need to click on this no option. Now you can just see automatically system has captured your company code currency, your group currency. Now the third currency which you want to get added as a freely defined currency, for this you go to the right side, you click on this add currency, add next currency, and here we have been given the option for the freely defined currency. So let it be the freely defined currency as ZK, which is INR. Enter. So you can just see it is coming as INR. Now we can save it. Click on the save option. Enter. And then we can come out of it. Come out of here. So for this non-leading ledger, we need to also specify the document type, which are the document type which would be valid for this non-leading ledger. You need to come out of the ledger and again ledgers. Here you will find the option called document, open it and go to the document type. Here we have the second option, define the document type in a ledger. You need to click on this. System is going to ask you the ledger ID. So let it be the ledger ID as non-leading ledger ID, which is ZK in our case, and then enter. Now we need to confirm the document type which we are going to use in this non-leading ledger. So let it be the standard one for the general ledger posting. Then for the vendor invoice posting, payment posting, outgoing payment, other document. Same way for the customer also, we have the DR, DZ, DA, and for DA and for the asset posting, depreciation posting. So we have given these many document type. AF. Now to all these document type in this non-leading ledger, you can assign a single number range. So let it be the number range ID as 32. 32 across all the document type. Enter, save. Now for this number range 32, we need to give the interval and we can just come out of here. So this number 32 I have given randomly. You can give any number here. So we can just come out of here. And below this, we have the option called document number ranges. Open it. And this, we need to select this option. Define the document number ranges. Click on this. Give the company code ID, in our case 2266. Change interval. And here we need to add the number range ID 32. So the last interval we have given it is from 910012 to 9109. So let's click on the new entry button. Number range we have it is this time 32 year 2024 and it is from 9 to all 01 to 9 to online. Enter, save, enter. We can just come out of here. So we have specified the document type, maintain the number range also. Now let's do the posting and find out the difference. So we can now go to the transaction code. It is F-02. Transaction code is F-02. Now what will happen if you specify your ledger group ID? So our ledger group ID is ZK for the non-leading ledger. If you specify that, then that posting will be done only in that ledger. But if you don't specify your ledger group ID, then automatically it will get posted in your leading as well as in all your non-leading ledger. So you can just see the screen. We don't have this field called ledger group. In order to get that field on the screen, we need to run this transaction code FB01L. So let's have this FB01L transaction code. So let's have this transaction code here. Now you can just see we have the field called ledger group. So if you do the posting into a particular ledger group, then that posting system is going to maintain in that particular ledger group only. But if you don't specify, then it will get posted in all your non-leading and leading ledger. So here we want to keep it as blank so that we want this posting to be updated in the leading as well as non-leading ledger. Here we can have the date as today's date, 20th of May, document type, company code 2266. And then we can give here the currency. And here we want to keep this ledger group blank. Here we need to give the GL. Let it be the GL 400 100. Any GL we can take it. Let it be 400 100. We need to give the amount. Let's say the amount is, it is 22,222. So I'm just giving this amount so that we can identify this amount easily. Now let's have this text as salary paid to cash account, GL cash account. Amount is asterisk and text is plus. Press enter button, click on the overview button, and then we can just save. Click on the save option. So you can just see the document got posted. It is 10037. Now let's display this document. Go to the menu document display. And here, this is the entry view. Okay? You can just see by default, it is the entry view. You need to go to this GL view. Click on the GL view. And if you just observe here, this posting has been made under the ledger. It is the 0L. It is under the 0L. And you observe here, this posting we have made in the fifth period. And amount is 22,222. This posting has been made under the leading ledger, and period is 5 because for the leading ledger we have given the fiscal year variant as calendar year, and our periods are starting from January December since we have made the posting in the month of May, so that is the reason period system has captured as 5. Now let's see the same posting into your non-leading ledger. And before we just go to the non-leading ledger, we can just click on this display currency. So here we have the currency as, like, we can just see the amount is 22,222. So let's go to the document currency, that is the same. So we have the local currency and we have the group currency. Okay. So we don't have this freely defined currency. Now we can switch the ledger. So you can just see there is a option to switch the ledger. Click on the other ledger. So we want to have here the ledger ID, which is ZK. So we can just scroll down. We can pick the ledger, enter. Now you observe here in this ZK ledger. See, this is a ZK ledger. Posting has been done. But you observe here the posting has been done in the second period. Why second period? Because here in this non-leading ledger, we have assigned the non-calendar year, and that is V3, which is starting from April to March. So if we do the posting in the month of May, it falls under which period? It falls April, May. So it falls under the second period. That is the reason system is just showing you this entry in the second period. And if we just go to the display currency, now you can just see for this non-leading ledger, it is showing you the freely defined currency as INR. So we can just check the balance into the INR. So it is coming this much. Now we'll also make one posting with FB01L. We'll make one posting with the transaction code, which is ledger specific. So if you want this entry to be done only in this ledger ZK, so let's have this transaction code FB01L. Give the once again date, document type, ledger group ID ZK, ZK, and GL we have 400, 100. So you can just see automatically the period got changed from 5 to second because as per this ledger, we have the fiscal year variant starting from April to March. So it is coming under the second period. Okay, fine. And let's say we have some amount. It is 31,000 and we can give the text as salary paid to cash account. To cash account, amount asterisk text plus, and we can go to the overview, save. So you can just see the document got posted. It is 92001. Now let's display this document and go to the GL view, General Ledger view. Now we can just see this time system has not posted this entry into your leading ledger, only in this specific ledger called non-leading ledger ZK. If you try to see here, we don't have here the option to switch the ledger. Okay, because this entry is only specific for the non-leading ledger ZK. So that is the difference we have. So with this, our ledger in this standard ledger, extension ledger topic got completed.